News 4, home of forewarned weather, rated Middle Tennessee's most accurate forecast.
You know, you look at the damage there in Puerto Rico, and it's just like, again, Puerto Rico just getting slammed. And you feel so bad for these folks, and they say maybe even 6 months without power for many of them.
Yeah, it takes that long to rebuild when the devastation is that widespread. You think of a tornado, I mean, a huge tornado is a mile, maybe 2 miles wide.
Right.
Hurricanes will do that damage over the most widespread damage over 30 to 50 miles, with a lot more outside of that too. So it's just a lot more cleanup to do. And Maria's still out there.
Maria's still out there.
Swirling away. Jose is still out there too. Yeah, Jose is off the East Coast there towards the top of your screen. That one is just going to kind of meander around in place and generally just lose its strength over the next couple of days. Maria, though, it's going to take a little bit longer, and we still have to keep a very close eye on this system. Latest forecast projections keep it off the east coast of the U.S. Certainly good news. It's a well-organized storm right now. It brushed near the Turks and Caicos Islands. Didn't hit them directly as Irma did, but just a little bit farther to the east and northeast, and you can see that well-defined eye of the storm. That tells you that it's a well-organized system. The more clearly you can see that eye, the more the storm has its act together. And it's producing 125-mile-an-hour sustained winds. It's a Category 3 hurricane. Anything 3 and above is a major hurricane. It's going to hold on to that strength for about the next 48 hours or so. It's going to weaken slightly as we get into Sunday morning and still maintain Category 2 status as it remains offshore. Certainly good news. And the cone of uncertainty here on either side of the forecast line really isn't that wide here, so that's good news, but we go out to 5 days here, that cone of uncertainty grows. It does look like Maria's going to weaken down to a Category 1 hurricane, but it's still a hurricane at that point, and that cone of uncertainty gets awfully close to the outer banks of North Carolina here. So the forecast path safely offshore, but it's still a long way off, and these tropical systems can sometimes throw some curveballs at us, so we'll keep an eye out for you. Any direct impact on our weather is unlikely, but it could have kind of a secondary impact of helping to drag some cooler air in from the north as it moves up the east coast next week. That's next week, though. In the meantime, it's sticky out there. Looking towards the horizon, just seeing a few little fair weather clouds here. Usually, if we're going to see spotty showers and thunderstorms developing like we did yesterday, you look outside around 11 o'clock or so in the morning. If you see clouds billowing up in the distance, then we're likely to get some storms. Well, it's noon, past noon, and we're just seeing these little clouds. So it's unlikely we're going to see any storms later on today, which means not much of a break from the heat and humidity. 87 degrees in Nashville, already way above today's normal high temperature, which is 80 degrees. 84 right now in Murfreesboro, 87 degrees in Lebanon. Temperatures almost everybody in the mid to upper 80s. The exception Crossville, where you're in the upper 70s, but still plenty muggy there along the plateau. 88 in Parsons, 89 degrees already in Savannah. Factor in the humidity, feels a couple degrees warmer in the 90s already farther to the west. 90 on the button right now in Hopkinsville for that feels like temperature. 92 Hohenwald and Leoma. Feels like 89 in Nashville, and our actual temperature is going to climb all the way up to 90 degrees this afternoon. And that's where we have forecast highs for the next several days. Winds light out of the northeast. Usually the northeast is a cooler, drier direction. Not this time around. Those winds just aren't strong enough. A few clouds out there by 8 o'clock this evening. It's still going to be warm. Temperatures in the upper 70s, even an hour and a half after the sun goes down. Those Friday evening football games are going to be awfully warm. Looking at Futurecast here, I mean, there is that outside chance of a shower this afternoon, but I would not count on getting wet. So your outdoor plans do look safe. Calm weather overnight tonight, probably some patchy dense fog to start the day tomorrow morning, like we've seen for about the past week or so. A slightly better chance of some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, but isolated activity. About a 20% chance tomorrow, and you can copy and paste that on to the next several days after that. 20% chance Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Well, but all the way up to 30% Wednesday and Thursday. I think eventually one of those days next week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, will give us a better chance of rain. It's just too soon to tell at this point which day is going to give us the best chance of rain. Once that moves through, our temperatures will drop back down closer to normal for the last couple of days of September. We'll keep you updated on that and the heat wave in between here on Channel 4 and on the iHeart radio stations with updated forecasts.
And eventually it's going to feel like fall.
Eventually, maybe by December.
All right, Paul.